Travelling in style. The French Paralympic team makes the short journey from Paris to London, under the seabed and through the Channel Tunnel, on a specially adapted Eurostar train.
Oui, bonjour à tous, c'est toujours votre hôtesse qui vous parle, donc nous vous rappelons que nous arrivons et surtout ne pas les boire et manger d'ailleurs.
C'est génial, complètement génial dans le sens où...
It's great, it's really great that a coach has been fully adapted for us, so we can enter with our wheelchairs and travel in great conditions. It's less tiring and better for our preparations. It is simply magical for us.
Some 50 engineers worked on the adapted train wagons. For Eurostar, it's a perfect exercise to test these accessibility adaptations for future train models. And after an easy journey of about 2 hours, the athletes arrive in London's St Pancras station. Meanwhile, the Paralympic team from Ghana has been hard at work in Bedford, 75 kilometres north of London. The training grounds here are home to 14 Paralympic teams ahead of the start of the Games.
Representing Ghana and Africa, for your information, is a great honor. I do not think or feel like I'm doing something extraordinary, but I just took my little light and shined it in darkness. However, I am using my sports as a disabled person to showcase for human the ability to overcome the bodily limitations.
Alem contracted polio when he was 2 and only got his first crutches 8 years later.
Let my other fellow disabled children also realize that they have something to offer to society.
The Ghanaian Paralympic team is being trained by a British coach, and she's upbeat about the physical and mental strength of her athletes.
They've achieved more than I'd ever expected, and you know, in Ghana, disability is seen as a curse. I've seen people cast away in their villages, and you know, every person's got a talent, and seeing what they've got through to get to where they are now should just inspire so many other children or even adults to, you know, start taking up sport and not shy away from their disability.
The quest is on for medals, honour and respect, not just in sport but in the wider world. Massive investment has helped to create a more accessible London for this Olympic summer.
So now as a wheelchair user, it's possible for me to start out at Westminster and come all the way to Tower Bridge. No detours, just straight along the South Bank and taking in all of the sights of London, which is just absolutely fabulous. It just makes such a difference, not having to plan your journey, but simply follow everyone else and enjoy the South Bank.
Margaret went to the Beijing Olympics and saw how sections of the Great Wall of China had been made fully accessible. And now £4 million has transformed London's South Bank.
Gosh, what a difference this makes, having ramps in every alternate part of the colonnade instead of the stepped access there was before. What a big difference this makes.
Wheelchairs now have easy access to different piers to just simply wheel up and enjoy the sights of the Thames and London's skyline. Margaret teamed up with Julie Fleck, who works at the Greater London Authority, to include accessibility in all aspects of city development.
It's just so satisfying to see it now fully accessible, and not just for wheelchair users. It's fantastic seeing you sitting here with me beside this bench, but these benches are lovely as well, really comfortable with a nice armrest, so it helps a lot of older people, people with walking difficulties as well as wheelchair users. I think we have done a really good job for London.
Yes, but it's particularly nice because I think this is the first time I've ever actually got to sit on the riverbank alongside someone rather than find myself always having to sit looking somewhere else. Yeah. It's really nice to have the same view.
The main obstacle in this project was the old cobblestoned paths. It was heritage versus accessibility, but the consensus was found in flat-head cobblestones. Shakespeare's Globe Theatre readily accepted the need to change.
All of the works on the South Bank have been done with an eye to legacy. This is all about improving London in the long term. This is part of London becoming and continuing to become more and more accessible. But one of the big challenges is always to ensure that it's not things that are done just for the Games, but are actually done to ensure that in years to come this will remain accessible and will remain an inclusive area of London.
But it's not just modern developments that are becoming more accessible in London. Despite the difficulties of changing centuries-old buildings, historical places like St Paul's Cathedral have also become more accessible. A sporting summer that concludes with the 2012 Paralympic Games, but a legacy that will last long into the future.